What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video from Bulls to the Wall Trading. Thank you very much for checking back into my channel. This is a channel where I share my tips and tricks in the stock market. It's basically gives me an opportunity to share what I know and hopefully teach you guys how to trade if you are looking to be a momentum day trader as myself. I am not a financial planner. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. And just because I use Thinkorswim doesn't mean that they are sponsoring me. This is just on my own. So this is going to be my watch list for Friday, October 20th, 2017. And let's get right into it. I'll make this quickly, or make this fast like I usually do. So before I get into it, just want to say real quick, check out my other videos that I've uploaded. I always post 2 videos. Actually, no, I always post at least 1 video a day. One is a recap, and then the other would be a watch list. So I guess that is 2. So I do post 2 videos a day. So if you get to watch my watch list videos and want to know what happened, on the recaps I discuss everything that happened with the market and how those stocks played out during the day, and you can see the different movements. You can get inside my brain and start thinking like I'm thinking. So check those out, and like and subscribe if you feel these videos are helpful. So the first one on my list is going to be DEST. I had this one yesterday because of the high right here at 259. It does have low volume. I don't like putting stocks that have less than $1 million on my watch list, but it is creeping up close to that $2.59, so it doesn't hurt to keep it on here. Most likely it's not going to do anything like it did today, but if it does start to creep up a little closer, I'm gonna keep looking at it as long as it has a good volume. ITEK is the next one on the list. You guys can see this big spike right here. That's why I have it on my list. So I'll draw my line at 259, and all we're hoping for tomorrow is that it starts to creep up, and when the bell opens at 9:30, if this stock has a good volume and a good momentum, that it can fly through $2.59 and keep moving up. And that's going to be the same thing for all these stocks that I'm going through. So this one, LBIX, I like this one because it hasn't made it past $2.53, and it tested that line several times. Here's $2.53, $2.53, $2.53 at least 2 times, and every time it touches 253 it gets rejected. So if we can get a breakout above 253, I think this will be a good stock. You got to be a little bit careful because it's gotten rejected several times. So for this one, I would probably get in at 254, just so we know that it broke above 253. Usually I like to buy a little bit below the line that we draw, expecting to move up. But since this one has been rejected several times, I would want to buy a little bit above. Alright, next one on the list, LINU. This one is one that I've had on here for a while, and I have several lines drawn out. So I'm going to draw my line here at 229, and as you can see, it was the high of the day today. So it hit 229, and in the post market it hit 229 also. So I'll draw my line right there, and now I'll zoom out so you guys can see where my other lines are at. So this is a line that we just drew, 229. Here's a previous line at 242, and here's another line at 260. So that's another high. Let's see if we can see it here. So we have several lines drawn. So, you know, it all depends what you want to play with this one or how you want to invest. You can invest a break above 228 or 229 and look to get out at 242. That's probably what will happen if it does break above. And if it does break above this 241, then your next target area will be the 261, and so on. So this one has potential, so I'm gonna keep it on here. Didn't really have that much volume today, but I do like this spike that it had, and then in the right before the market closed and even after the market closed, it went back up to test that 229 line. So I'm gonna keep that one on there. BW, this is one that had a good day today. It had a solid uptrend all day. And this line that I have is at $4.42. Let's see where we have that line. Actually $4.44. So me personally, I would want this stock to move above 444, because as you can see in this chart right here, it hasn't been above 244. So it would essentially be breaking new ground, and that's something that I like to see. So it is currently at around 228, so it has about 15 cents to go. Hopefully it can keep that momentum up in the post-market and in the pre-market, but the potential is there, so that's why I'm going to keep that one on here. OCN, this one I had last night. As you can tell, when it broke through, it made a pretty big move. This line I don't need anymore, so I will remove it, and I'll put my new line at 413. It took a dive after it hit 213, but I do like this spike, and I do like the fact that it's just shy of 4 million. Not the greatest volume, but it does have potential. RGSE is another one that I found this morning on my pre-market scanner. It went all the way up to 283, and it couldn't really recover, couldn't come back up to the 280s. And it's currently right now at 245. I'm just going to keep it on there because of the volume. 10 million in volume, and it moved a lot in the pre-market today, and I'm just hoping that it can do that again tomorrow morning. ONCS, next one on the list. This one, it went up to $1.85. Same situation with the previous one. It reached the high, it never really quite made it up there, but I do like the volume, 11 million, and just hoping that it can creep up slowly and hopefully come above this 185. If you do buy in or invest above 185 or at 185, be careful with the $2 resistance point. Remember that $2 or every whole dollar amount is a big resistance point. So just keep that in mind. If you get in at 185, you could get stopped out at $2. So just be careful with that. IMMY, this is one that I invested in today. Let's see, let me remove this line. So it reached a high of 279, and after that it just came down. Chart doesn't look all that great after it reached 279, but I like the volume, 23 million, and for that reason alone, I'm going to keep that one on here. It had this big spike in the morning, so I'm hoping that it can do that same thing tomorrow. So moving on to the next one, AMRN. So our line is at 340. So I'm not really going to keep explaining what it is that I'm looking for, because it's just the same thing over and over. AVGR, I would want to play this one above 50 cents, not 48 cents. So where is 50 cents? Right around there. ECYT 522, you guys can see that little spike at the market during the post market. MEET, this one I don't really like this one. To be honest, I don't know why I put it on here. I don't know if I wrote it down by mistake, but I'll put my line right here at 360. This one's most likely going to come down. It just made a sharp jump up. That usually is not very. It doesn't hold up when it does that. WPRT, we're going to put our line here at 388. Delete our O line. And just remember with this one, if it does move above 388, be careful with the whole dollar amount at 4. So I'll just draw a line right there. VKTX, we have our O line, and every time you see an O line, you can see that when the price goes above, it does a little run. So let me zoom in. So right here, it broke above, it made a little run. It broke above, made a little run. So hopefully you guys can see the potential here. So 312 is where the high is, so I'll draw my line right there. INFI, this one, it has a high right here of 262, but I'd rather go to 269, which was the highest point on this 1 minute chart that I have. GNMX 191, same situation with this one, guys. Be careful with the $2 amount right here, big resistance point. So you could either play above 191 or just wait to see if it can crack above $2. You got to see how it plays out tomorrow morning. And ADHD, this one was probably the big one for the day. 32 million in volume, reached highs of 217. So I will delete all these other lines that I have on here. And even though it's all the way over here to 160, it has 32 million in volume. So I'm hoping that all those eyes that were looking at this today will try to push it back up tomorrow, but we have to wait and see how it performs. So these are all the stocks that I will be watching tomorrow morning. Now, before the market opens, I narrow these stocks down to just 4 to 6 stocks. How do I do that? I come in the morning and I just start looking at the volume. Obviously, it's not going to be 32 million because, you know, these numbers are for the whole day today. So when you come in the morning, or when I come in the morning, you might see something that says 100,000, 200,000, 700,000, and that's pretty good volume for pre-market. If you see something, I would say above 100,000, that's pretty good. So I look at those that have at least 100,000 or more, and if the chart looks good, I put it on my top 4 to top 6. And if the volume, let's say this one tomorrow morning, if this one I turn on my computer and it has 20,000 volume, I don't even look at it. I don't waste my time. I don't even care what it does because it doesn't meet my standard. So I look at high volume stocks during the pre-market, and out of all those high volume stocks, I pick the top 4 or 6 that I like. And then I also run a morning scanner, and I do the same thing. Out of those stocks that populate in my morning scanner, I pick the top handful that I like, and I go here to my trade tab, active trader, and I plug them in here separately, and I just watch them sort of like this, where I can see my line and I can see the movements that it does. It looks better than this. This kind of looks convoluted, but it makes sense to me. So that's what I do. You know, a lot of people say that your watch list should be, you know, no more than 10 stocks or something like that, but I have found that I like throwing all the stocks that I identify potential in, just throwing them in a watch list, and then the following day following up and identifying the ones that had a good night run and they're having a good morning. And from those, I just pick the top 4 to 6 that I like and go from there. Will I always get the best ones? No. There could be a stock that has in the morning, let's say 50,000 in volume, and I discard it and I don't look at it, and that one could have a great day, and that's fine. You know, I don't really get mad because it's one of my rules. I only trade high volume stocks, so it is what it is. It's happened to me before, and you know, there's nothing you could do. Also, something that I wanted to clarify was that if you have your line drawn, let me use this one as an example. If you have your line drawn here, let's just take this one for example, and the price is coming up, and about to touch your line, just because it's going to touch your line with high volume, it does not mean that it's going to go up. Let me say that again. Just because it's coming up to the line that you drew with high volume does not mean that it's going to go up. What you're doing is you're investing with the expectations that the volume and the momentum will carry it across the line that you drew. That does not happen all the time. Many times it'll come up, you'll invest expecting the break above, but it'll just start to come down because it didn't have enough gas to come across. So just keep that in mind. Just because it's coming up, about to cross your line, does not mean that it's going to. So I just wanted to say that, just a reminder. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing here, what you're looking at, Thinkorswim platform, use stock trade platform, level 2, anything, how I find my stocks, how I look at charts, please leave me a comment. I will make a video explaining anything that you need me to, or just leave you a reply answering your questions. Please like and subscribe. Please spread the word, and be on the lookout for my recap video tomorrow. And just want to wish you guys I guess I have a good rest of your night, and good luck in the markets tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for watching.